Easy.
New numbers on how the overturning of Roe v. Wade has affected abortion rates.
January was the first time since the survey began that it's counted more than 100,000 abortions across the country in a single month. Abortion pills and telemedicine play a key role. Some Democratic-controlled states enacted laws to protect doctors who use telemedicine to see patients in places that have abortion bans. It eased the burden on clinics, says the Society of Family Planning, which supports abortion access.
ABC's Chuck Sievertson. Turkey's filed a request with a UN court to join South Africa's lawsuit, which accuses Israel of genocide in Gaza. Startling details are coming out of a two-day National Transportation Safety Board hearing on a door plug which blew off an Alaska Airlines jet.
In the ongoing NTSB hearing, new details are coming to light about production quality issues at Boeing. NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady saying they've heard from Boeing workers about the plane fuselage pieces showing up at the factory.
One Boeing employee, not a contractor, said planes come in jacked up every day.
And in the hearing, new harrowing accounts of what it was like for the pilots on that Alaska Airlines plane, depressurized with their headsets ripped off, using hand signals to communicate, unaware if the back of the plane was even there anymore. Alex Stone, ABC News.
The Oakland, California Zoo vet team's taken in a mountain lion cub found walking in a residential area alone. They named him Briar, and says he'll stay with him till a home is found. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
My doctor told me my blood pressure is borderline. I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula. It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KBNU.
I'm Bill Walter, KBNU News. Crews are battling another wildfire in northern Utah. Fire officials estimate now more than 1,500 acres are burning southwest of Randolph near the Big Creek Road and Big Creek Canyon area. Utah Fire Info reported the Dry Fork fire is burning in sage, juniper, and aspen. It is reportedly on the move and is at 0% containment. The Rich County Sheriff's Office said ranchers were allowed to retrieve their stock and assist others in doing the same at their own risk. A deputy was reportedly working to secure a location where the animals can be loaded onto trucks and trailers. The fire was discovered Tuesday, and the late word is they determined the cause more than likely is lightning. Officials with the Forest Service said early containment efforts were challenged by wind conditions, but fire behavior is beginning to moderate. Red flag conditions are predicted for today. Intermountain Healthcare has unveiled a state-of-the-art facility in Logan with more beds for behavioral and medical health services. KBNU reporter Cimarron Neugebauer toured the 110,000-square-foot four-story building project, and he said that Intermountain Logan Regional will unveil its latest addition to the hospital campus with a community tour and ribbon cutting on Thursday. Intermountain Logan Regional Hospital President and CEO Brandon McBride said while construction began in 2022, plans for what the building would one day become has been in the works for 15 years.
I think this is a milestone moment for healthcare in Cache Valley to have a state-of-the-art patient tower like this with all of the most modern capabilities for providing inpatient services. It's really, really exciting for our community.
The new behavioral health unit will allow 40% more patients than in the past, which Mary Burbank, RN for Intermountain Logan Regional Hospital Behavioral Health Management, says will allow more patients and their families to stay in the valley for treatment, and that is so much better. Burbank said the addition of an outdoor space is huge. The old unit did not allow for patients to safely be outdoors.
You've taken care of somebody in a lockdown unit for 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, waiting for court processes and different things. Not to have the ability to take them outside safely is just, it's hard. It's hard on them. So it helps their morale, and I think it'll be great for our staff too.
Public tours of the new patient tower will be Thursday from 11:30 to 2:30. It will include hospital tours, a teddy bear clinic, a resource fair, family-friendly activities, giveaways, and food trucks. Patients will be moved into the new tower on September 11th. And a former senior advisor of Operation Underground Railroad was charged Tuesday with DUI and distributing a controlled substance after police reported finding many vials of an opioid and large amounts of cash in his car. 60-year-old Rad Christian Barrett of Mill Creek was traveling west on US 40 just north of Heber City on Monday when a deputy observed the vehicle swerving and pulled him over. According to a police booking affidavit, the deputy conducted field sobriety tests and determined he was unable to safely operate a motor vehicle. After searching the car, police said they found 79 individual vials of a synthetic opioid used to treat pain and opioid use disorder, along with syringes and large amounts of cash. Barrett allegedly refused a chemical test at the Wasatch County Jail, but a warrant was obtained and the test was conducted. KBNU weather is brought to you by Cardalls. Are you spending a fortune to keep your home cool? Your home's insulation may not be adequate. Cardalls is the number one name in America for insulation with a location in Logan. Call 755-5012. Areas of smoke tonight, mostly clear, otherwise low around 60, and then patchy smoke and mostly sunny skies on Thursday, high in the low 90s. Get more news at CashValleyDaily.com.
Thank you for calling Cardall's Insulation. How can we make your home more comfortable today?
Is your home hot? Does your air conditioner run nonstop? Are you spending a fortune on energy? Call Cardall's Insulation, 755-5012. From attics and walls, garages and basements, new homes and commercial construction, Cardall's is the name thousands of homeowners, builders, and remodelers trust. Stay cool all summer and save money on your utility bills. In fact, you may qualify for a tax credit up to $1,200. Cardall's Insulation, 755-5012.
News Talk KVNU.
You might ask yourself, when is the best time to start saving for retirement? The answer is simple. It's today. And Edward Jones Financial Advisor is here to help. They will work with you to build a plan for your ideal retirement by identifying your unique goals and help keep you on track to achieve them. The sooner you get started, the better. Call one of our 11 Edward Jones locations in Cache Valley to schedule an appointment today. Making sense of investing. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Discount Tire. So much more than a tire store.
Tire price sticker shock got you down? Fear not. Your friends at Discount Tire and Automotive got you covered at their 48th anniversary sale. Get up to $160 back when you buy any 4 Michelin tires, or get up to $210 back when you buy any 4 BF Goodrich tires. While you're at it, take advantage of their gas saving services that can save you up to 16% in fuel savings. But hurry, these golden ticket rebates will end before you know it. So don't miss these savings. And remember, you can rest easy knowing you're getting the guaranteed lowest prices, period. Make your tire and service reservations online anytime at webtires.net or stop by Discount Tire, 885 North Main in Logan, 110 South Highway 165 in Providence, and 728 South Main in Smithfield.
Discount Tire. So much more than a tire store.
So, wondering why CVTD is now called Connect? Well, let us explain. We connect Lexi to school, and we connect Jamie and her kids to the park. We connect Kelly to her lunch meetings, and Mark to the hardware store when he has a plumbing emergency. And we connect Jim to go swim laps. Why are we called Connect? Isn't it obvious? Find your route today at rideconnectutah.gov.
Welcome back to KBNU's For the People. Starting hour 2 here, I just want to say thanks again to our hour 1 guests because that was amazing. Scarlett Bankhead, who oversees City Code at Providence City, and Providence City Mayor Kathleen Alder just did an amazing job of explaining micro schools. This is a new thing. The legislature kind of rammed this down every city's throat in the session, said, make this happen. We want micro schools to be a thing in Utah, and cities have to figure it out. And in 17 minutes, Scarlett and Mayor Alder explained it so well. So if you missed that, it'll be available on the podcast soon. And thanks again to both of them on short notice coming on to explain that. And I'm still just in awe of their ability to lay that out for listeners. Moving along here, it officially started today and runs until Saturday, and it is one of the biggest events in Cache Valley each and every year. It is time for, I know school kids hate to hear this, but it is time for the Cache County Fair and Rodeo. And joining us here in the studio for the County Hour, we have Cache County Executive David Zook, and been a while since we had him in the studio here, Lane Parker joining us as well. Lane, you're the guy that makes this happen every year. And you start planning it the Sunday after the fair wraps up each year, as I understand it. This is a part of Cache Valley life that is fun, but what always kind of gets me thinking when it comes to fairs and rodeos, few people know the practical history of a county fair. This wasn't always just for fun, right? There was a serious part of this.
Well, yeah, the serious part is it's the end of the year, and it's always been, the idea of the harvest is in. It's time we can recreate a little bit. We can go see our friends. We're all going to be in town anyway because we're taking our crops to town.
Sure.
And it's the fall season. You got your calves to sell or your fat animals have all summered, and so that's kind of where that whole idea comes together. And so, when you say I put it together, well, I just kind of manage a bunch of bases, and we just have super committees that have really come together the last few years. It seems like they're just building on each other and their enthusiasm. And so, we got some exciting things happening this year that are very different from other years too. So
that is, it's always, like I say, unless you're for me as a kid, I kind of loved and hated the county fair because it was exciting. I was excited to go, but it also meant school was just a few days away, and that wasn't great. But as an adult, I don't have to worry about that. This is a chance for Cache Valley to show off, and I know, Lane, you and your team as Cache County Fair chair and the whole committee that works on this, every year I know there are these discussions about that. How are we going to show off Cache Valley this year? Obviously the rodeo and the crowd that draws. I have never seen a rodeo sell out so consistently, other than maybe the big one in Pendleton every year.
But if you compare us to Pendleton, that's cool.
That's fair, right? But this does, this packs that arena each and every show, each and every year. And then the fair, you've got a good reputation is what I'm getting at. How did you get there?
Well, that's, it's been building for a lot of years. Lamont Polson has managed the fair for 22, something like that, years. And he was involved with the junior livestock before that. But he just works on it year round. Well, then the big kicker was during COVID when we were one of the first that actually had a fall rodeo. And the county council, got behind us. We pushed it through. And when we did, PRCA, which you have to sanction all your rodeos through PRCA, and we said, we're going to go ahead and have a rodeo. So literally, we got contacted by the big Mucky Mucks and said, really? How can we help you? Because all of our cowboys, they may go to the national finals and only win $10,000. We'll get them there because it's all money, and you're the only money this year. So anyway, we pushed, said, well, hey, we'll do this if you can help us out. And so we moved into another segment, really, in their eyes, of what are we doing out in Utah? And we pushed to that Extreme Bronx, if you remember that, a few years ago. And we got that. That was just a special section on this Wednesday night. And that escalated, and then PRCA came back with another program, a circuit deal that put us on the map of the top 60 of 800 rodeos in the nation. And that's so the Cowboys nationwide suddenly says, Cache Valley, never been there, but wait a minute, that's where the money is that weekend.
Very cool.
We need to be there.
I'm really proud of our guys.
That's a big deal.
We have a good team. They've done a great job. And to hear about 20-something years ago, it losing money, maybe on the verge of,
Yeah.
of ending.
Yeah.
And Lamont came in, as he mentioned, 22 years ago to take over the rodeo. And Lane's been running the fair for the last 7 years.
7 years,
now. They've done such a great job, and you can see it, you can feel it when you come to the fair. It's very professional, well done, well put together, well planned, and so much fun.
This is it's something to not miss, to say the least, in Cache Valley. And again, if you've never had a chance to celebrate Cache Valley, this is where it happens, and it's a fun thing to do. It kind of, you walk away from the county fair, I think, feeling a little more centered on what life in Cache Valley is all about. You know, our not just our history, but also life now. People, I'll put it this way: I'm surprised sometimes at even a few state lawmakers that forget that agriculture is a huge part of Cache Valley still. Livestock, a huge part of Cache Valley still.
We're the agricultural center of the state. That's
Sure.
what I keep saying. I know we're not in the center of the state, but we're the ag center of the state. We still have so much agricultural operation happening here. And that's our history, and that's what I love about the fair. I was there.
It's
this
a spotlight on that, right?
I was walking through our event center building this morning as the judges were in there judging the produce, the flowers, everything that people have submitted to be judged at the fair. They were putting the blue ribbons on and the red ribbons and all of that, and I just thought, this is amazing to see people who still care about this. I don't know if you know this, but there's some counties in our state that don't do a county fair anymore.
Yeah.
They stopped it. They've ended it. That's never going to happen in Cache County as long as Lane and I are around. And we're going to make sure
it's a good goal.
We keep moving forward with this, celebrating our agricultural heritage.
It is under assault. I mean, maybe not intentionally. There might not be an organization out there setting out to forget about agriculture and livestock and what I like to call the Western state way of life, but it is slipping a bit. There was recently, and I still tease him about it, there was a state lawmaker, a Republican from Bountiful, who during a legislative debate referred to Cache Valley as a, quote, satellite community of the Wasatch Front. And the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I was so angry, and I still give him a hard time about it. But the Cache County Fair is a chance to celebrate that history, that heritage, that way of life that is still very much a part of Cache Valley. On the other side, we'll talk about what exactly is going on with the Cache County Fair, what's new this year. The full calendar I've linked to on our Facebook page if you want to see, and it does start today. So if you want to see events you can get out to throughout from today until Saturday evening, I've linked to that calendar on our Facebook page. You can also just simply Google search Cache County Fair, and you'll find it. And our guests here in the studio again, Cache County Executive David Zook and Fair Chair and longtime organizer of the Cache County Fair, Lane Parker, will be back right after this.
IPACO is celebrating a milestone this year, 50 years of serving our community. They want to thank you for trusting them with your metal fabrication, machining, and welding. When you need hardware, bearings, sheaves, and belts, you turn to IPACO. And for generations, you've relied on IPACO for outdoor power equipment. On behalf of the Anderson family and the entire team at IPACO, thank you for letting us serve you. Here's to 50 more years of serving you with the same dedication and excellence. IPACO on 10th West in Logan.
Get your cooling fixed, call Gary Riggs. Get your AC fixed, call Gary Riggs. If you're having cooling problems, we're here to get them fixed. Just pick up the phone and call Gary Riggs. 435-512-6633. We'll come to you. Our service fee is low, just $25. We repair all brands and have certified installers. Get your cooling fixed, call Gary Riggs. Get your AC fixed, call Gary Riggs.
Today's hearing aid technology can improve not only your life, but the lives of the people who care about you. Once again, you'll be able to hear the reason for their laughter and understand conversations. Dr. Paul Danes will customize a hearing improvement program to meet your unique requirements, whatever they are. Call Dr. Danes for an appointment at 753-HERE and let him show you how.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Are you a homeowner looking for peace of mind and affordable insurance coverage? This is Matt Robbins with Quality First Insurance, an Alera Group company. As an independent auto owners insurance agency, we have access to multiple insurance carriers and will give you options. Our agents will work to ensure you get the policy that suits your needs. From protecting your personal belongings to dwelling coverage, Quality First has you covered. Call us today for a quote. 435-752-0101.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Here in the studio with us this hour for our county hour, we have Cache County Executive David Zook and longtime chair and organizer of the Cache County Fair, several years in a row now, Lane Parker, talking about the Cache County Fair in general. Again, I've linked to the full calendar of events starting today and wrapping up Saturday evening on our Facebook page. You can also simply search Cache County Fair. You'll find it, or visit cachecounty.org and click on the little button there that says Cache County Fair. It is, again, officially underway. In fact, Lane was just showing us some video. They've got some live streaming video happening there for some of the Slack events and the opening events of the fair itself. This is a big deal. We should talk about this a little bit, but there are kids out there who have spent the entire year prepping for this, taking care of animals, raising animals, and learning a lot through the process. And now this is their chance to basically have that all come to fruition. But there are also, the Cache County Fair is also a chance for big livestock operations to, kind of do some trading and discussing and also just meet up and talk. That all sort of happens behind the scenes. And most people are showing up for the carnival or the rodeo or the booths. I'm amazed that this gets planned every year. Because there are so many moving pieces. Someone has to get all of those vendors there for the booths, food and otherwise. Someone has to organize the rodeo. Someone has to organize and oversee a carnival or whatever entertainment there might be. And then we all just show up and take all that for granted and have fun for 3 or 4 days.
It's a team effort. We have a really big team.
It's amazing.
There's a committee. Lane heads up that committee, and we have a lot of volunteers who help. You mentioned a lot of vendors. I think there are 280 vendors there.
Okay. Wow.
Lots of good food. That's one of my favorite parts of the fair is all the good food. I sampled a little bit earlier today, so definitely come out for that. But I really appreciate what Lane has done with the live streaming and our staff. We're on social media too. People can go to Cache County Fair and Rodeo on Facebook and Instagram and get updates, information, things like that. And on YouTube, just if people look up Cache County Fair and Rodeo, they can see the kids on there showing their animals. They can see the auction going on. This is awesome for family members who maybe are out of the area or can't be here, or they want to see their grandkids or somebody. They can go on YouTube and just look up Cache County Fair and Rodeo.
This is, and Lane, I know I've heard this through the grapevine, but as your time as chair and heading up the committee, you've made it a personal focus of yours to beef up and kind of put some new energy into the junior livestock program. To me, that's the ultimate in the end. We have all this other pizzazz going on for several days, but when we have the auction and that culminates for projects, we started off with, we tagged in what you call tagging. That's initiate, I want to, nominate this animal for the fair. We had 840 animals. Wow. That's about 750 of those individuals then. And some of them have multiples in case one gets sick or something like that. But there's that many we start with. We will probably auction off somewhere around that 740 animals.
Wow.
And you spread that around the valley. That's Cache Valley, okay? And that's one per
yeah, that would be big
youth.
for a state. Yeah, we're just talking Cache Valley.
Yeah, and so that's each one of those represents a youth because they can only sell one animal. And so for them, that's a huge project. And, at that age, those younger, especially from, from 10, 12 on, and they get so attached to that animal. Yeah. But it's because you lived with it, you worked with it, you fed it, you nurtured it. And that nurturing goes back to everything.
Sure. And so that's what builds families and relationships and integrity and work ethic. And so that's why, us as parents who are part of it, and then seeing the overall picture, I'm in this position now to where I can really promote it, coming from from different directions, and bring people in the Valley together who have that same interest and are passionate about it. That's the thing. They get passionate. They're in for the long haul.
I've seen some of that that passion before, and I mean, it is honestly amazing. I feel so there on a outside of the fair thing right now in Cache Valley and Utah in general. Everyone's dealing with growth in some way. We're watching Cache Valley change. David, you and I talk about this every month on the County Hour in some way. There's a new road here, a new subdivision here, and part of that discussion is everyone always says, they bring up these kind of vague things like the life in Cache Valley, the culture of Cache Valley, what it means to be. That's what we're talking about here, right? A county fair is meant to show that off, and that's exactly what you and your team have planned. But that's what we're talking about here, this junior livestock program. It might be something that many people who show up to the fair don't even notice or even know is going on. But that is when we say we want to keep Cache Valley, that's what we're talking about is the option to have a junior livestock program that as you said, teaches these skills and life lessons, and some of them sad. I know that feeling of having to, it's that time and goodbye to that animal. I've also, as an adult, ended up with some of the animals my cousins in other counties didn't want to get rid of at the fair in my pasture. But this is life in Cache Valley. That's what we're talking about.
It's about preserving our heritage. We were talking earlier about how long the fairs have been around. They started in the early 1800s.
Yeah.
But if you think about back then, how many people lived on a farm? Probably about 90% of Americans lived on a farm back in the early 1800s. And now I think it's around 2%, maybe less, of Americans who live on farms. So that's part of the reason why people don't know about this. People don't participate in these types of things. Counties are shutting down their fairs because people just don't live on a farm. They're not around farms. They don't have farms in their county.
Sure.
We still do. And thanks to people like Lane and the many families who are raising these 840 animals throughout the year, we're keeping that heritage alive in Cache County.
That's amazing. That is, and again, people forget this as well. The county fair is actually a week-long event. There were events Monday at the fairgrounds there.
Last week even, right? You started on, Friday?
Well, there were some different activities. There was, the Cowboys that want to get in early. We had a team open, and then Monday night we had another deal that ran on till
get a little extra practice.
Yeah, we had a team doctoring, and so participants from all over, not just the Valley, but outside of that. And they were there till 10:30, 11 o'clock last night, Monday night, and then first thing early, Tuesday. Why then we ran Slack, which was. The rodeo contestants from all over the nation.
It's amazing.
Blow in for that. You go through some of the greatest athletes in rodeo. We're in Cache Valley. It just completely packed our parking lot, which took a whole nother avenue of what makes that fair work is to get all of those parked. They're only there for a couple hours, and then they're gone. And you say, what happened to all those people? They're gone. They're on the road going somewhere, another rodeo now. and then at 4 o'clock that afternoon, here comes the 4-H'ers. And they went till, I think it was 11 o'clock last night. Wow. 4-H'ers, 4-H horse show went till 11 o'clock.
Wow.
Using those same arenas, okay? And then we rolled back this morning, and we had had everybody in there by 8 o'clock, and by 9:30 we had a meeting with all of the parents and the youth for the junior livestock, and packed the building, all the bleachers to talk about the rules and the changes and what's up for the rest of the day. And we no more than got done with that. We're into the lamb show. Yeah. The judge drove in from Oklahoma. There was a fiasco there, but we had a judge step up for us and drove. He and his wife jumped in the car and drove from Oklahoma to be there to judge our goats and sheep this morning at 11 o'clock.
That is very cool.
It's just neat, and that connection was made. The guy in Oklahoma knew these people in the Valley, and they called him and said, hey, can you pull this off, he says, for you, I'll put it together.
Very nice.
It was neat.
That's one of the things that I want to say about our team at the fair. It's a family, and the family stretches beyond Cache Valley. There are so many relationships that make this event happen.
Sure.
And
like you mentioned, the traffic snafu that holds up a judge, and you've got connections. They pull another one in.
Walking around there this morning, there were so many people that they said, "Oh, we know this person, and this person helps, and then this is a friend who takes care of this."
Oh,
and
wow.
It's like a family effort, and everybody's pitching in and doing a part, and it's built on the relationships that they've built over many years. And I mentioned that Lane and his wife have been leading the fair for 7 years. This is their last year. They're moving on. I hope those relationships stay, because they've made it such a great event because of all their relationships, their friends, their family members who all love this cause. They all love this event. They all love this agricultural heritage, and they're all willing to come and serve and be there, not just for the few days that most of us see it and it's visible, but all throughout the year. They're planning, they're preparing, they're making it happen.
That is. You mentioned, David, after the fact, so that the fair wraps up with checking out all the livestock projects Sunday morning, and then the 4-H kids go to work cleaning and putting everything back in order that maybe has been moved for this event or that event, and helping everybody check out and move on their way. This is more than a couple of weeks for these 4-H kids and for all the volunteers involved to make this happen. The Cache County Fair and Rodeo, again, getting underway with the rodeo tonight at 8, correct? Make sure I'm right on that time. Okay, 8 o'clock for the rodeo tonight. Tickets and more, either on Facebook, Cache County Fair and Rodeo. I've linked to that on our own page if you want to find it there, or just search on Facebook, Cache County Fair and Rodeo, or visit cachecounty.gov and click on the fair button there. Tickets are available for all the nights, but this does have a tendency to sell out. So get your tickets now. And also stick around. More to come with our guests here in the studio, Cache County Executive David Zook and Cache County Fair Committee Chair Lane Parker joining us for the County Hour. We'll be back after the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News is brought to you by Roof Rescue. Alexis Beckstead has been the chairman of the Oneida Stake Academy Foundation since 2021 and member of the board since 2017. She has the daunting task of trying to finish a 21-year effort to save the building. The original building was completed in 1895 after 5 years of labor by the settlers of Franklin County. It was once part of the Preston High School campus, but was moved to Benson Park in 2003. Beckstead recently finished a nearly 440-page book about the 137-year-old school building and the academy system of education. She said there are hundreds of photos that cover the years the academy was in operation. The teaching started in Franklin, then moved to Preston. For a while, the classes were held in a furniture store on Main Street. Then it was held in the basement of the academy when it was finished. Students filled the classrooms as soon as the construction on the entire building was complete. The Oneida Stake Academy book sells for $50. Tressa Honey is caught between anger and grief in the lead-up to Utah's first execution since 2010. That's because her father, Tabrant Dave Honey, is the person set to die by lethal injection, and her grandmother is the person he brutally murdered in 1998. The heinous intrafamilial crime has placed a strain on her relationships for more than 2 decades, as she's kept in touch with her father while her mother's family has fought for him to be put to death. Tressa Honey is dealing with a flood of emotions ahead of the execution, set for shortly after midnight on August 8th. That is later on tonight in the overnight hours at Utah State Prison. KVNU weather brought to you by Canyon Landscaping, creating livable landscapes for your new or existing yard. They still have openings during this late summer season. Call 752-3838. And we're looking at areas of smoke tonight, mostly clear skies otherwise, low around 60, patchy smoke on Thursday, giving way to mostly sunny skies and high temperature in the lower 90s. Get more news at CacheValleyDaily.com.
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Taylor Swift's 3 concerts in Vienna are canceled after the arrest of 2 suspects accused of plotting a terror attack during one of the shows. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, the Democratic vice presidential nominee, told supporters in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, some students told him once to run for office.
I never thought that much about it, but they saw in me what I was hoping to instill in them. This idea of a commitment to a better world, a common good, a belief that one single person can actually make a difference.
Walz and Vice President Harris are now in Detroit. Tropical storm Debbie is gaining strength as it slowly makes way for another landfall in South Carolina early tomorrow. 1 person is dead, another injured after a military helicopter crashed at Fort Novosol Army Base in Alabama. Rafael Nadal's pulled out of the U.S. Open, 3rd Grand Slam so far this season, and it raises questions about the 38-year-old's future in tennis. This is ABC News.
At Roof Rescue, we believe in giving back to the community that supports us. That's why we're thrilled to announce our free roof program. It's designed to help families in need by providing a brand new roof at absolutely no cost. We understand the stress of damaged or aging roofs. Through Operation Roof Rescue, qualifying homeowners can receive a high-quality roof replacement for free. Visit roofrescueusa.com. That's roofrescueusa.com. Roof Rescue. Every family deserves a safe and secure home.
This is Cache County Fire Chief Rod Hammer. Due to current and predicted weather conditions coupled with extremely dry vegetation in northern Utah, the state forester has determined that measures must be taken to prevent the ignition of forest and rangeland fires. The following acts are prohibited in unincorporated private and state lands. First, no open fires of any kind except within established public facilities, in improved campgrounds, picnic areas, or in permanently constructed fire pits at private homes where running water is present. Second, no smoking except within an enclosed vehicle, trailer, or building, a developed recreation site, or while stopped in an area that is paved or free from dry vegetation. Third, no discharging or using any fireworks, tracer ammunition, or other pyrotechnic devices, including exploding targets. Fourth, no cutting, welding, or grinding metal in areas of dry vegetation. And fifth, no operating a motorcycle, chainsaw, ATV, or other small internal combustion engine without an approved and working spark arrestor. Please help us by doing your part to prevent costly and dangerous wildfires.
Wonder is timeless. Discovery is everlasting. And exploration is never-ending. At Loveland Living Planet Aquarium, we cherish the unforgettable memories you've shared with us for the past 25 years. Thank you for being a part of our story. Visit livingplanetaquarium.org to embark on a new adventure and continue our journey together.
Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat and the Allergy Clinic now have an office located inside the Miller Medical Building in Tremonton. An additional office open every Friday. Cache Valley Ear, Nose, and Throat is the 2024 Best of Northern Utah Gold winner for ear, nose, and throat medical offices and is now located in North Logan, Providence, and Tremonton. Schedule your appointment for an office near you. Go to CacheValleyENT.com. That's CacheValleyENT.com for details. Most insurance products, including SelectMed, are accepted.
The Above and Beyond Salute.
Hello.
This is Brian Davies?
This is.
Hey, I understand you're a firefighter. Is that right?
I am.
Somebody apparently thinks quite highly of you. I don't know who it is, but...
yeah, that is a mystery.
So what made you want to get into firefighting?
There's just something about trying to help people that are having a bad day.
Yeah. We've got free lunch for you to Firehouse Subs, just to tell you thanks for what you do in our community.
Thank you. I really, really appreciate it.
The Above and Beyond Salute, sponsored by Firehouse Subs on News Talk KVNU.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. I'm Jason Williams. Here in the studio with us this hour, we have Cache County Executive David Zook. And this week, special guest joining Mr. Zook as we enter into the Cache County Fair. We have Cache County Fair Committee Chair Lane Parker. And as David just told us, this is Lane's last year after several as chair of the Fair Committee organizing the Cache County Fair and Rodeo. So sad to hear that Lane will be moving on, but excited that we've got one more that Lane and crew have put together. This is a big event. It's an important event, as we've discussed. This is an event that highlights and celebrates the culture of Cache Valley, It is much more than most people experience. A lot of us go for an evening, walk around the booths, have some food. Maybe if you've got kids, check out the carnival rides, go to the rodeo, and that's the fair to most of us. But this started last week. The 4-H kids will be cleaning things up and sweeping things out on Sunday after it ends. And behind the scenes on all of this, you have everything from 4-H showmanship dog shows, the Western Horse Show with the 4-H that happened this morning. You've got poultry, pigeons, rabbits, all of this judging that will happen. It's an amazing event. I'm looking forward to this on Saturday. I caught this last year, but there's the Frisbee demo, 4-H dog show. And that was was pretty impressive to see.
A lot of fun stuff.
These are young kids.
That's one thing I was going to mention is the dogs. And I think that
so good.
is becoming one of the most popular things to watch and to participate in. But yeah, starting at 9 a.m. on Saturday is the dog agility. And then the Frisbee thing is at 1 o'clock. And then there's more dog agility at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And that's one of the
How
things
they teach the dogs to do this is beyond
it's
me.
a lot of work. Well, that's what Lane was talking about, is how much effort these young people put in. And I think that's so important in today's society when so many people spend way too much time in front of screens, and their brain is shrinking. And
Sure.
they're not learning a good work ethic. But these kids who are involved in things at the fair are amazing. They work so hard. And on so many other things, we have the horticulture, we have the floriculture, all the arts and
That's
crafts. So many of those things that young people and adults are working on, spending time doing. And I really appreciate what Lane and his committee have been doing and adding so many more fun amenities. There are a lot of really great things happening. The American West Heritage Center is going to be there.
Oh, really?
And having a petting zoo.
That's very cool.
Yeah, there are pony rides. The carnival, of course, this is a top-notch carnival here. The people who run the carnival that Lane has been working with, they are so professional. It's clean, it's safe, it's family-friendly, and they do a great job. It's $40 a night for a wristband. You can go ride the rides. I think a lot of the kids really love that part of the fair. We used to have the displays from each community with the beans and the legumes and the corn and all that. That's kind of gone away over the years, but Jump the Moon is there and doing an activity where people can go and kind of make their own, and participate in that. There's going to be a bubble tower on Friday and Saturday. USU Aviation is there, and kids can go fly drones. There's actually going to be, Lane was telling me about a drone demonstration that's going to be there for agricultural use, using drones in agriculture to spray fields. So there's when was that going to be there, Lane?
Oh, they showed up here just a couple hours ago, and that's a big, it's a 6 foot wide drone, but they can spray just right alongside, and two of those small drones can keep up with one of these great big wide beamed spray rigs, and they never bend a leaf, and they never miss a corner. And so that's neat. That big drone is on display. We'll be throwing it in the air. And then just across the bench from there, we've got Stotz Equipment, who's been a big donor to the fairgrounds, but they've got an autonomous golf cart. So it's like a $3,000 golf cart with $20,000 with electronics. It's satellite guided, and so we'll have it set up there where kids can get in and drive. Well, they can't actually drive it. They can push on the gas. But it runs a course, it'll do that course. So that's part of Stotz, and they have all this autonomous equipment. They got a big kind of a skid steer there that can be totally GPS guided and programmed to do every little thing right down to a half an inch in grade work and all that.
That is so cool.
Amazing. So we wanted to push that technology side, and that there's a real future in agriculture, but using this new technology.
There's something for everyone at the fair. If you're into livestock,
I'm going to be there for
heavy
that tech
equipment,
stuff. That's pretty
many cool tractors and pieces of equipment to see there. If you like the food, if you like the arts and crafts, there's something for everyone. Music, we haven't talked about the music yet, but we have a full schedule of some great performers. A lot of local acts too. If you look at the schedule and who we have there, we have a lot of our young local talent who are performing.
This is my one complaint. There's so much happening that I forget which calendar I need to click on here to to see the schedule, which isn't really a complaint.
There is
That's
a lot.
very cool.
Yeah. So today, actually, right now, Seize the Night Records. That's a Smithfield recording company, and they're bringing local talent, several different performers. If you see on the schedule, Seize the Night Records, that's going to be some local talent, some local youth out there. At 6 o'clock tonight, Melomania is going to be up.
That's very cool.
And then we have another one called the Fire Slugs. Those are both local youth bands. So local youth performing at our county fair over the next couple of days. Of course, Thursday night is the ABBA tribute band.
I anticipate that drawing a large crowd.
Yeah, that's going to be popular. We're going to have a lot of people.
They packed the Eccles Theater this summer with this spring with the tribute band.
There's an Eagles tribute band on Friday night at 8 o'clock. So the ABBA one's 8 o'clock Thursday. The Eagles one is 8 o'clock on Friday. And then 8 o'clock on Saturday is Paradise City, which is 80s tribute, maybe some hairband songs, things like that.
This band is regionally famous. And if you haven't seen, I've never seen a band cover one of probably the hardest songs to cover perfectly. Journey's, that iconic voice of that Journey lead singer. And these guys can do it. So I'm kind of excited to catch that. You have, as far as entertainment goes, for those curious, there are events, as David mentioned, starting today at 4. There's, and then, of course, that's with Seize the Night Records, and at 6, Melomania. And Crazy Coyote, the headliner tonight, they're on the fair stage.
They're a country act from Utah.
Really?
Crazy Coyote.
Oh, very cool. And then bands throughout the day, starting at noon tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Friday, starting at 10 a.m. Saturday. And very cool stuff.
And then 4 o'clock on Saturday, I think it says on the schedule, cultural dance showcase, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be Sage Hall. Sage Hall is a local dance group, mostly USU students.
Yeah.
And they do country line dance, country swing dance.
That's
so
cool.
They're going to be doing some of that. That'll be really fun if you're into that. It's actually a group people in the community can join and go and dance. They meet at our fairgrounds all year round, and once a week they dance, do country line dance, country swing dance.
They're actually doing a show this year. That is very cool.
Yeah, that's 4 o'clock on Saturday, Sage Hall dance.
That is, and that's just the entertainment. Again, cashcounty.gov/fair, or go to cashcounty.gov and click on the fair button there. I've linked to that on our Facebook page, and also you can find for updates throughout the Cache County Fair and Rodeo on Facebook. The first rodeo tonight, 8 p.m. Tickets still available at cashcounty.gov/fair. But when it comes to the rodeo, if you've lived here in Cache Valley, you know this. But if you're new, you don't want to wait on getting those tickets. This does have a tendency to sell out. It's a big event alongside the fair as well, happening until Saturday evening with that last band, 8 p.m. Saturday evening, Paradise City 80s. And we'll be back with more of our guests, Cache County Executive David Zook and Cache County Fair Committee Chair Lane Parker here in the studio. Stick around. We'll be back right after this.
News Talk 610 AM, 102.1 FM, KVNU. Discount Tire. So much more than a tire store.
Summer breeze may make you feel fine, but you can feel great at Discount Tire's 48th anniversary sale. Buy 3 select tires and get the 4th tire absolutely free. Plus, with every tire purchase, you're entered to win one of Discount Tire's awesome weekly prizes, valued at over $2,500. You won't find lower prices anywhere, guaranteed. Take advantage of the great financing options too, like 12 months no interest, layaway, or no credit check financing. Discount Tire's 48th anniversary sale going on now. Make your tire and service reservations online anytime at webtires.net or stop by Discount Tire, 885 North Main in Logan, 110 South Highway 165 in Providence, and 728 South Main in Smithfield.
Discount Tire. So much more than a tire store.
Are you in need of excellent surgical care? Budge Clinic General Surgery offers the future of surgery with state-of-the-art robotic-assisted procedures. From cancer treatments to surgical needs, they've got you covered. Call Budge Clinic General Surgery today, 435-716-1950, to schedule a consultation and experience the best possible outcome. Trust Drs. Anderson, Marshall, McKenna, and Peterson, the experts at Budge Clinic General Surgery, helping people live the healthiest lives possible.
Join us for our Cache County Fair and Rodeo, running from August 7th to 10th. I'm Mickey Scott, your 2024 Cache County Rodeo Queen. Experience top-notch rodeo performances, tasty treats, and fun activities for everyone. Get your tickets now at IFA, Cache County Event Center, or at cachecounty.org/fair. Buy them now before they sell out.
So come on out, let's have some fun at the Cache County Fair.
You've waited for it all summer. Anderson's Seed and Garden's famous Cash and Carry sale is now underway. Choose from a huge selection of fruit trees, shrubs, and more, starting at 25% off. But if you pay with cash, get an extra 10% off that plant purchase. Shade trees, shrubs, flowers, and more, 35% off with the cash purchase. If you want a beautiful landscape, take advantage of the great weather, the perfect planting conditions, and the great sale prices at Anderson's Seed and Garden, 69 West Center, Logan.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Wrapping up our county hour with guests here in the studio, Cache County Executive David Zook and Cache County Fair Committee Chair Lane Parker, who we've learned this will be his last year as Fair Committee Chair. He's retiring from the position, but he's been doing it for several years now. And this fair gets bigger and better each and every year, so, as does the rodeo. The rodeo kicks off tonight at 8 p.m. Tickets available at cachecounty.gov/fair, or just click on the fair button there at cachecounty.gov. You can also find them on Facebook. On Facebook, just search for Cache County Fair and Rodeo, and they're doing live updates there as well. As Lane has told us, there are live streaming events on YouTube this year. Everything actually got underway last week and doesn't wrap up until the cleanup on Sunday morning the 4-H kids will be a part of. So get out and celebrate Cache Valley, be a part of this, experience this, invite your friends from out of the county to join us as well. We love it when people come here and spend money and then leave. So pass the word around that is officially underway. Before we get back into it, we did have a quick question from a listener here for you, Lane. A listener wanted to know if you could talk a little bit about the skills of the judges. Listener saying people take this for granted, but these are scientists.
Well, literally, they specialize. I mean, you'd think, well, livestock, okay, but there really is those who specialize in beef, dairy, sheep and goats, and so with that in mind, and because of the caliber that we have developed to in Cache Valley, why we do bring the judges from all over. We've had judges in from Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas for judging this year. And you think, oh, God, why would you do that? Well, these guys are noted nationwide for their skill in being able to not only look at an animal and say, we like this one or that one, but explain why, and then relate that to the youth as to, how did you accomplish this and what did you learn from it? And we try to roll them through. We got a lot to do, so the judge can't spend a lot of time with each of the youth. But a lot of these judges just have a good rapport with the youth, promoting their work and their ethic along the way. And then that culminates with, being able to sell that animal. And not every youth comes in their first year or two. They may not get everything done the way they like. They're learning.
That's
obviously
part of the experience.
That's right. It's part of the learning experience. And those who really get after it, we've had some their first year, they won a grand champion. And it was like, wow, they had some good leadership.
Imagine the excitement.
Help them fit those animals. And so then it comes to a culmination of the fat stock sale.
Sure.
In at the end, and that's Saturday. And so for us, that's 9 hours.
Wow.
We start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and it will take us pretty well 9 hours to get through that, and we roll them. That's
short breaks, too.
We've sold that one. He's already out of the ring. The next one's in. We have 4 auctioneers, myself, my son. Of course, this is a family tradition.
Sure.
Okay? We started that with Dad way back. 30-plus years ago. And
that's such a cool
myself,
family
my son,
tradition.
and 2 other young auctioneers that, and they just roll through there.
That is amazing. I've
I've
heard these stories of judges who can look at a steer and within 5 pounds guess the weight.
Oh, absolutely.
Accurately.
Yeah.
And that blows me away.
Lane, will you talk about the money that is generated from these auctions?
Well, yeah,
because this is a real
where
auction.
It goes, what it's
oh yeah,
for?
it's dollars and cents, and it's we gather them up and everybody tease me. Well, I says, let me know what your number is. I want to make sure you spend every dime you brought, and so it's a tease thing. But no, we have a lot of local businesses, corporations that step up and say, I've got this much money to put toward the youth of Cache Valley. How can I best do that? And so they maybe turn that money over to a committee member or have somebody there to bid for them. Or what we'd really like to have is those owners of those businesses come in and bid on those animals.
Yeah.
And we have great support from a lot of the companies. And if I started saying, I'd forget some, but it's pretty obvious.
They are all listed here, right? At the Cache County.
Yeah, they are.
.gov/fair.
Yeah, and
support those sponsors because that's important.
We will gather up over $1 million Saturday and that goes right back to the youth. Some of they got to pay off their debt to the animal, the cost of that original animal, the feed along the way.
Sure.
But now things have developed to the point where they've got a pretty good nest egg.
Yeah. And the skills that can be parlayed into something
the real
else.
value the kids are getting. They make some money off of it, but the real value is the work ethic they learn, the experience they have.
Yeah. Now, a few years ago, it was just they got a good work ethic. There wasn't a lot of profit at the end. But, no, because of our sale committee, they've gone out, they've got a 501c set up, so bigger corporation says, I can donate to that and get the write-off that I need. So, there's some of that in there too. But yeah, these kids are coming out of there with some pretty good income. And the ones that work, and there's some of those that, it's a little iffy and it's pretty obvious.
Maybe mom and dad forced them into it.
Maybe next year they say, well, hey, I could have got a little more if I'd have tried harder.
Yeah.
And, there's the point.
That is.
I mentioned earlier, Jason, that this is a family affair. The people involved with the fair and rodeo, they're like family. They're really tight, and that especially applies when it comes to the livestock side of things. Those families, you see them out there. The whole family is there. Their parents are helping. It's incredible. And none of it would happen without the sponsors, the leaders, the volunteers, the committee members.
Sure.
People like Lane and Susan, his wife. I just want to thank them for their 7 years of service, helping us. Our county's better off because of their service. Our county's better off because of the fair. I'm thankful for all of the sponsors who've helped, all of the volunteers, all of the staff. We have a great team.